Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your favorite problematic housewife. My name is Marissa if you're new here, and I wasn't planning on doing another video today, but then I was made aware that one of the victims that came forward talking about her experience with Colleen Ballinger, it's actually the girl that I put in my first video, and she explained how Colleen had her on stage, ended up spreading her legs wide open with a dress on, and thank goodness she said she was wearing like spandex shorts underneath, but after the show felt really icky and gross and violated. Well, after she came out with that story, she's then started being victim blamed, bullied, attacked. People are blaming her for how she was dressed, saying that she signed up for this, she's the one who wore that outfit and all this stuff. And it's like, come on, people. This is why nobody wants to speak up when things happen to them. Let's just take a look at this girl's TikToks. I am so irritated with the internet today.
Colleen traumatized.
Hi, okay, my name is Becky. I'm the girl in this video, and this video has over 1 million views, and that is a lot of people to be seeing this story without hearing it from me, so I want to explain this. So I was a fan of Colleen and all the Ballinger family for a very, very long time, and I think in this video I was about 16. If you've never been to a Miranda show, Colleen frequently has segments where she calls people up on stage. One of those segments was the porn bit, which I'm not really going to be explaining in this video, but that's why I was kind of trying to dress skimpy so that I would be called up on stage and basically get degraded by Miranda. But I did not get called up for that. I got called up for the yoga challenge. Now, as soon as I stood up from the audience, I saw Colleen's eyes widen because she realized I was not wearing pants. But for some reason, that didn't stop her from continuing. In fact, no adult at any point stepped in this situation. So we get to the point in the yoga challenge where I am laying down and Colleen is spreading my legs basically as far as she can. She spreads them so far that you can see the spandex I was wearing under my romper, which thank God I was wearing. Now, the original video posted by Xandar, I'm sorry if I pronounced her name wrong, is only a screenshot, but there is a whole video of this. But that screenshot is the most important because that is the moment I will never forget, where I was laying under Colleen and she was smirking down at me while thousands of people were laughing, and I was terrified that my body wasn't covered up enough by the spandex or the romper. I basically felt naked, so it felt incredibly sexually violating. I was younger and my body was still developing and I was still becoming comfortable with myself, so for her to use my body as entertainment on stage really set my confidence back quite a lot. And not to mention, after all this, after the show, I had to walk back to my car where there was many men staring at me in a very predatory way that they were not looking at me before because of how exposed I had been on stage. So I literally did not feel safe leaving the venue. And I'm not saying this was sexual assault, although people are debating that in that comment section, but as someone who has been sexually assaulted, this situation gave me that same feeling where it feels like you need to purge and like clean out your insides, you know, just that nasty, gross feeling. There's a couple comments on Xandar's video being like, oh, she signed up for that, why is this such a big deal, blah blah blah. Colleen exploited my minor body for entertainment and money and did not protect my safety at this show. As an outsider looking into this situation, it may seem like this wasn't a big deal, but this was really pretty scary for my teenage self, and especially as someone who loved and looked up to Colleen. And I could never say anything because everybody loved her. But this is who she really is. She uses kids for her own gain. I was a minor, and again, she did not protect me. So if you're watching this and you're thinking about taking your kids to a Miranda show, I would advise you to think twice because you may come back with years of trauma, and I don't wish that on anyone.
So that's the story of what happened to her. I wanted to play it again in case anybody missed it or didn't know what I was talking about. So now I'm going to show you her TikToks, kind of replying to the people who are coming for her over her telling her story. And I want to remind people, she's not the one who came out with this. If you see in her TikTok, somebody else was talking about the situation because it had been recorded and put online. A bunch of her live shows get recorded and put on YouTube. And because this girl saw herself being talked about with her legs wide open on a stage, she decided to tell the story coming from her. Like, she is allowed to speak. It happened to her, and other people were talking about it. So It's not like she just came out with this, and even if she did, there would be nothing wrong with that. But I just want people to remember other people started talking about her, so she decided to tell the story of what happened to her from her. So now let's look at her TikToks replying to the nasty people who are victim blaming her.
Okay, I want to address some of these comments because a lot of them are pointing out what I was wearing. And first of all, I just wanted to share what I was wearing. This is a romper that I probably bought from like American Eagle or something, and everybody is acting like I was dressed like I was going to a Coachella rave. Like, it was really not that inappropriate. The inappropriate part was Colleen manipulating my body. So yes, I said I dressed skimpy, but really this is not that bad of an outfit. And yes, I wanted to get picked for the porn part of the show, which is basically where Colleen picks one fan who's wearing something like this, or even just like shorts and a tank top, really. And one fan who's dressed as Miranda, and the Miranda fan is deemed as dressed appropriately, and the person who was wearing the quote-unquote inappropriate outfit is like shamed and laughed at, but as a joke or whatever. Now, when she asked for volunteers, mind you, I don't even think that she said it was going to be the yoga challenge when she asked for volunteers, because there was also a segment before that where it was a try not to laugh challenge where she spit in my face. So I honestly can't remember if I knew that there was going to be the yoga part, but if I did, I had completely forgotten because I was so excited that she had called me up on stage. All of the comments blaming me for what I was wearing and blaming me for, wanting to be on stage are really weird and just victim blaming and not coming across the way that you should want to be coming across. Yes, I was 16, but I was still a minor, and Colleen was in her 30s, and all of the people that were working on her show were also fully grown adults who knew that me wearing this outfit and her doing that bit would be wrong. I just think people blaming me instead of Colleen is crazy, because I know I personally would never do what she did to a child, but I don't know, maybe you're all also secretly creepy predators. But yeah, I just want to clear that up a bit and say that if the victim blaming keeps continuing in my comments, I will turn the comment section off, which is not something that I want to do because there's also a lot of support there, and I greatly, oh my goodness, it is way too late, greatly appreciate everybody who's sending me support and love. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it.
Okay, hi, I'm back, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping to just share that story about Colleen and then log off this account and basically never come back here. But I've been seeing a lot of comments blaming me for what happened, and I just want to address victim blaming comments in general. In my situation, a lot of people are talking about my age. I was 16 at this time, which is still a minor. Your brain isn't even fully developed until 24. But a lot of people are like, well, I mean, you weren't 5. Like, you knew what you signed up for. Or people being like, you wore that outfit on purpose. You wanted to be called on stage. Like, this is your fault type thing. I tried to address that in my last video about like Miranda shows and how clothes play a role and how you get called up on stage and stuff. So I don't want to go over that again. I just want to talk about how horrible these comments are in general and how hurtful they are. A lot of people don't realize the power dynamics that were at play in this situation. But regardless, a lot of the negative comments that I've received are why victims of any traumatic situation don't come forward a lot of times. Especially the ones about clothing are really pissing me off. Like, saying that a woman deserves something that happened to her because of what she was wearing is such an archaic and gross way of thinking, and I can't believe people in 2023 are commenting that on the internet. I just can't help but think about how the reactions in my comment section would be different if she was a man and had done what she had done, because what she did was wrong. I'm sorry. I just had an interview with a pretty big news platform, and I actually wasn't going to be doing any interviews. I told myself that I would post that video and then never speak about it again, but because of the amount of people blaming me for it, I felt like I needed to come out and talk more about it. But I do feel like if this magazine reached out to me in the first place, then yes, what happened is wrong. But again, I don't necessarily want to keep making this all about me. I just want to say, even if you think that this wasn't necessarily a bad situation, you're entitled to your own thoughts, but you are not entitled to telling people what they experienced was a traumatic experience or not. Like, people are allowed to express their trauma. You should never attack people for coming forward with their stories in any situation, and these comments are just so disheartening because I know a lot of these people are applying that way of thinking to maybe situations in their real lives and probably hurting people in the process. So I just want to say, if you are someone who is reading the comments and maybe also is starting to feel a little bad about yourself and your experience, just know that these people are spewing absolute nonsense. Like, if you've experienced a traumatic situation, just know that this is not a normal reaction. Yeah, so basically, let's just all try to be a little kinder to each other and treat each other with more respect, because it goes a long way.
Okay, so I really can't believe in 2023 that people are still trying to blame a woman for what she's wearing and say, you deserved it. I really can't, dude. Like, this is just plain nasty, and this is how Colleen stans are. Colleen fans and stans are going around trying to bully people who are speaking out. They're threatening Adam McIntyre, saying they're going to stab him 45 times. They hope that he's out walking his dog so they can kill his dog. It is getting so out of hand. People are allowed to speak up about what happened to them. These were kids. And let's remember that these segments in Colleen's live shows were regular segments. She did these segments over and over. And out of the hundreds of segments that she has done degrading children and just embarrassing them on stage, and these kids don't know any better. They want the attention. They love Colleen. They love Miranda sings. They don't realize at the time that they are being degraded and embarrassed on stage, and it's just disgusting. What makes this whole thing even more disturbing, in my opinion, is the fact that Colleen used Miranda Sings to flaunt her predatory behavior for years and got away with it. And I am sure in her sick head that she got so much satisfaction out of publicly flaunting how nasty her mind really is and get away with it and get rich off of it, get fans, get people to worship her, want to work for her, manipulate people. Just the way that she used her power on children is vile. And I don't understand how people who knew of her, watched her, was around her, did not see this. I never watched this stuff from her. I had no idea this was even going on in her live shows. Parents should be ashamed of themselves, dude. Like, you know I'm against mom shaming, but how the heck are you going to take your kid to a live show where children are being sexually degraded on stage? Wow. Please go follow this girl on her TikTok and show her some love and support, because she is really getting a lot of heat right now for coming out and explaining her story, and it's just not okay. Okay, guys, that is going to be it for this video. If I never see Colleen's face ever again, I would be thrilled. I will see you in my next one.